Regular Show, just like The Amazing World of Gumball, is a show I've known about for a long time, but I didn't really start watching it until more recently, and it's become one of my favorite shows of all time. The show aired from 2010 to 2017 for a total of 8 seasons, and has become one of Cartoon Network's most popular shows. So today, I'm going to rank every episode of Season 1 from the worst to the best. In Season 1, there were 12 episodes, and after having to rank 40 for my Gumball videos, it's nice to only have to rank 12 this time around. But anyway, let's get started. This was really the only episode of the season that I didn't like. Everything else I thought was at least decent. And I actually don't think this episode's bad, it's just very mediocre. Some of the jokes I thought were funny, but overall I thought this episode was a little obnoxious and kinda predictable. The episode's about Mordecai buying some cologne that's clearly based off Axe body spray to impress Margaret, but he finds out that it only attracts unicorns.
You don't use this to get the ladies. You use it to hang out with the bros. Bros.
And in its second half at least, it gets pretty predictable. The unicorns and Rigby get along super well and start treating Mordecai like crap. And eventually Mordecai's had enough, so the unicorns start treating Rigby like crap. So Rigby realizes he's made a mistake, apologizes to Mordecai, and they work together to get rid of the unicorns. And as for the unicorns themselves, I had mixed feelings, because they are pretty obnoxious, but that was kind of the point, so yeah. In my opinion, The Unicorns Have Got to Go is the weakest episode of Season 1, and there's not much else to say about that. Personally, I think this episode's pretty decent. It's nothing too special, but it's a decent watch from start to finish. I think it has some good jokes, and the way Rigby defeats the hot dogs is pretty funny.
Stand back! Oh, this stuff's delicious!
And this episode also has Tim Curry, who is one of my all-time favorite actors, so that's a plus.
You fell for our trap brilliantly. We don't want to be eaten. We want to eat you.
I guess if I were to name one negative, it would be that a good chunk of this episode is just Rigby screwing things up. And I know, Rigby kinda screws things up in most episodes, and usually that's great. It's one of the things that makes Rigby, Rigby. But in this episode, it gets old pretty fast.
Okay, dude, I think that's good.
What?
Wait, I can fix it. There's a safety latch.
Dude, don't force it!
Mordecai, I found the thermostat. I can totally fix it.
Oh no. What are you doing with that drumstick?
Although I do love this facial expression. This episode's kinda like Meet Your Maker in that it's not great or anything, but it's a good watch from start to finish. Most of the jokes are pretty solid, especially this one.
Hit the lights, it's almost 8 p.m. Whoa! Skips is gonna be so surprised when he comes in and sees us totally naked. It's not that kind of party, muscle man. Oh. Don't turn on the lights.
Yeah, as we go through these episodes, it's gonna become more and more obvious that Muscle Man is one of my favorite characters. He wasn't in Season 1 that much, but when he was, they made it count. This was also the first episode with the Guardians of Eternal Youth, and Gary. Alright, I know a lot of you are probably screaming through your computer screens wondering how I could possibly put Death Punchies so low. But just because this episode might not be one of my personal favorites, I still think it's a really good, classic episode. This was the first episode with the Death Kwon Do stuff, which is just classic.
When I turn back around, you're toast! 1 of death. 2 of death. No!
Sensei? I think somebody just Death Quan clogged the toilet.
There's also a little training montage to You're the Best from the Karate Kid. And that's one thing I want to say about this show. There's a lot of 80s rock music. Probably because creator J.G. Quintel is a big fan of 80s rock.
I'm a big fan of like old rock and like 80s stuff.
And I love 80s rock, so that's a part of this show that I always enjoy. The episode that started it all. Well, technically the 2009 pilot started it all, but you're not going to see that on this list. Although it is a good pilot. But as for this episode, it was a good start to the series. I mean, who could forget moments like this?
I'm gonna give you one more chance to take back what you said about my mom! I'll kill you! Oh, you want us to put the hurt on you? I think he wants me to put the hurt on him.
I think he wants you to put the hurt on him.
You think he wants me to put the hurt on him?
Yes, I do.
I kinda sent a bunch of stuff to the moon while you guys were in the house. A bunch of baby ducks. Send them to the moon. Soda machine that doesn't work. Send them to the moon. Hambony will save your life someday. It'll be all like, what? You trying to mug me?
No, but it wasn't as awesome as when you punched that hole in the wall.
What's interesting is that it's really no secret the regular show kind of pushes the boundaries of what's appropriate on Cartoon Network, especially in the first season. And in this episode and some others, there were actually some lines that were changed, or censored, I guess.
Now, how in the H are we gonna fix this S? Now, how in the heck are we gonna fix this stuff? But he's gonna be pissed! But he's gonna be ticked!
Also, this episode aired on my birthday. That's right, regular show started on my birthday. So I thought that was pretty cool. To me, this is one of the more creative episodes of Season 1. It's about Mordecai and Rigby trying to prank call the Master Prank Caller, but he gets mad and transports them to the 80s. Oh, and by the way, the Master Prank Caller is literally a phone with arms and legs.
You couldn't leave me alone. Now you're gonna pay!
And one thing about me is that I love to say random quotes from movies and TV shows completely out of context. And I'd say I've said this one a few times.
The 1980s called. They want their cell phones back.
The 80s call! They want their cell phones back!
Oh, and there's also this.
But you know what's even funnier than watching prank phone calls?
Once again, this episode has a ton of classic moments.
I still have balloons! We got it covered, Pops! Oh, I see. You know who likes special entertainment like that? My mom! Get ready for our very special entertainment! But you are gonna clean up this mess, and you can start by sweeping up the special entertainment. Woo! This birthday party is hot!
It also has an awesome action sequence that could give any action movie a run for its money. Okay, well, maybe that was a bit of an overstatement, but you get what I mean. And this definitely wouldn't be the last great action sequence we'd see from regular show. So we'll get there when we get there. Don might not be in the show too much, but whenever he is, I enjoy it. I mean, he's supposed to be super likable, so I guess they did a good job. And Julian Reboletto's voice fits this character really well.
Did somebody order an accountant? Pops, give me some sugar. Rigbone! Wow, that's heavy. He was always greedy with the sugar.
This episode also has one of the best My Mom jokes.
I know someone who can help. If you say your mom, you're fired. My mom? Get out! It was worth it!
And in my opinion, some of Benson's funniest moments as well.
I can't wait for you to get out of my life!
What, bro?
You keep your mouth shut.
Rigby blew it. He wouldn't give Don sugar.
What? Go give him some sugar!
As we see in some of the later seasons, regular show can do creepy episodes really well. And although this episode isn't really creepy overall, the scene where Rigby's body quits on him is pretty unsettling. To me, at least. It feels like a transformation scene from a monster movie, which is honestly pretty cool. All this being said though, the rest of the episode is great too, especially the scenes with Pops and Muscle Man.
You're a turd!
No, you're a turd!
You're the turd! You're...
No!
Mordecai, Rigby, stop! We can all be turds. Looks like a bucket of diarrhea.
It's me, Rigby!
Oh man, that boot with wheels stole Rigby's voice!
No, I didn't steal anything!
You're not stealing these voices! Come on, Foz, let's bail!
Come back!
No way, bro!
I would consider this one to be a little bit underrated. Most people would have it lower, but I think it's really funny and pretty relatable as well. I mean, let's be honest, how many of you have done a ton of extra work just so you could get money to do something like go to a concert, or impress someone you like, or even just buy something you want?
That is so true!
And once again, Muscle Man gives us some of the funniest stuff in the episode.
You know what kind of people go to those concerts? That's right, ladies! We got 2 tickets to Fist Pump! See you later, grandmas!
Ugh. Oh, sick. It's all sweaty.
Woo! I just threw my shirt! Bring out Fist Pump! Let's do it!
I could say that I definitely did not expect this episode to go the way that it did. It went from being an episode about Mordecai and Rigby having to buy Benson another grilled cheese deluxe because they ate his, to being an episode about Mordecai and Rigby trying to prove who's the better liar, which leads to them pretending to be astronauts and going on a tour in an astronaut compound.
Try saying that 3 times fast.
And I think that's one of the things that I really like about this episode. It kind of took me on a ride I wasn't expecting. And this scene is hilarious.
Fine. It better not be that ostrich thing with the balls. Ready yet?
It's loading. Okay, now!
Don't get too close now, Pop.
Man, it's the ostrich thing with the balls!
When I started making this video, I already knew that this was going to be my number 1. And maybe I'm a little bit biased because I'm a guitar and bass musician myself, so this episode's kind of right up my alley. Anybody who's tried to learn an instrument or start a band knows that it can be pretty challenging at first, and Regular Show told that in the funniest way. But if you're not a musician, then you'll probably like this episode just as much. It's a classic, and it has one of my favorite songs in any cartoon show. And also one of my favorite quotes from the show.
Come on, ladies, play us a tasty lick!
And that's all the episodes. So I think that season 1 was a really good start to the series. As I was rewatching it for this video, I learned to appreciate it more than when I first saw it. I mean, I always thought it was a good season, but rewatching it, I found myself enjoying it more than I originally thought. And like I said, every episode besides the Unicorns Have Got to Go, I thought was at least decent. That being said though, it's not my favorite season, and I think the show definitely got better later in the series. But then again, season 1 only had 12 episodes, so who knows, maybe if there were more episodes, I'd be saying something completely different right now. Overall, I'm going to give season 1 an 8 out of 10, and if you haven't seen it in a while, I highly recommend going back to rewatch it. Thank you all so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for my ranking of season 2, but until then, this is JXD Productions, signing off.